welcome to another brand new episode here on 1950's Farm. So what are we doing today? Well, today we are out in the field and we are planting our soybeans. Somewhere around this field is the 3 John Deere A's with the cultivators just pulling the land down. But I've let them get a little bit ahead because there are, we usually catch them up and then it makes it a bit awkward because I have to sit around then for them to get in front again. So I've set them off. They should be probably well over halfway around the field by now. Yeah, I certainly can't see them, so fingers crossed. As I say, they'll be well around the field by now. But we are out in the, we are out on the crawler, and we're planting away with our John Deere drill the soybeans. So I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a good day. A good Wednesday, I think today is, or will be when it goes out. My day not going too bad. I'm talking about the day that I'm recording it, not the day it goes out, because they're two very different things. But yeah, so it's again early in the morning, so it's an early start again. But we'll get it done. Once we get these soybeans in, we've then got to go over to Harry's, and there's a little bit of ploughing, and we've got some cultivating to do, we've got some drilling to do there. So we're going to be busy hopefully for the next couple of episodes. Probably won't get all of this drilled in today's episode, I wouldn't have thought. Not unless you guys want to put up with a monster montage in the middle of time lapse. But yeah, as long as we get sort of well into the field, then normally we're happy with that. And normally as well, I wouldn't start recording on the headlands. Normally I start recording when I get onto the up and down bits. But today I thought we would actually start with me on the headlands going around the field, and then we can go from there. We've got some ploughing to do as well back at Harry's farm, where we took down the trees in the other episode, which will be last week's episode, I do believe. I think it was last Thursday's episode, I think, where we took the trees down. We've got to join that field up to the ploughed field, the little grass field up to the ploughed field, and that makes another half decent sized field then that we'll have down there. And I've also as well for Harry bought the little tiny drill off the dairy, because obviously they've now had this one. So I've which is not entirely similar to, well, it's similar to what the dairy had, but it's not the exact model. But I couldn't get the exact model. It's the same with the combines. I can get a combine that looks similar to what they had, but I can't actually get the exact model that they had. So not really sure which way on the combine to go, whether to go for the one that just looks similar to the one they had, or whether to actually buy the one they had, buy the one they upgraded to in the 60s, because that I have got the exact model of. So it's whether or not I kind of put it into, because we're now 1954. I've got a bit of an aim that I want to try and keep each year down to 6 videos, no more than 6 videos. So 6 is the maximum. If we can do it like and try and move this along a little bit, because I was sort of looking at this, and you know, we do quite a few. We do 3 episodes recently a week, and as well in the beginning when I was looking, you know, I was sort of doing, you know, sort of anywhere between 3, 4, and 5 episodes a week. And it's taken nearly a whole year since I started this save, and we've only moved 4 years. And I thought, well, that's not really, you know, good. I don't mind, because I enjoy it, and I know there's other people out there that do enjoy this series as well, so I don't mind. But it would be nice just to start to see a little change in farming. You know, I suppose what I'm trying to say is I don't want sort of, you know, 10 years to be me 10 years of recording. So I know that's not going to work out like that, but you know what I'm trying to say, that you just sort of try and keep it moving along, rather than sort of getting bogged down with 4 or 5 episodes of the same thing. Which again, obviously for myself, I don't mind, but so own up time. I've been watching, so last year up until December, all of my videos and all of my shorts were getting sort of 400 to 500 views, you know, sort of per short. Now they're struggling to get to 20, and my videos, especially 1950s, was getting into, you know, sort of 200-300 views. Not every video, but you know, most videos. And then I had quite a few that went well over 1,000 views, and one that went to nearly 2,500 views. And again, you know, sort of since September, October time of last year, again, you know, even this series is struggling to get to, you know, sort of 70-80 views. You know, it's just really struggling. So you know, I did what you do, and I went onto YouTube and I started looking at all these experts and watching all these videos, and you know, oh, turn this setting on, you know, your views will go from 5 to, you know, 900,000, and you know, all this rubbish. And I didn't necessarily believe any of that, but I thought, well, you know, there might be things that I'm sort of doing in my upload that are hindering my views or not helping my views. Anyway, as I say, I watched quite a few, Dan the Man, you know, all of these people, and I've come to a conclusion. And it took a while, and I'll tell you why I came to this conclusion. So I was watching, I think it's like Dan the Man or something like that, and I was watching his videos, and I was sort of like, I was thinking, oh no, okay, that's fair enough, I didn't know that. Oh right, that's how you do that. Okay, fair enough, I didn't know how to do that, and I knew that would help. So, and he's sort of giving you a step by step, and so initially I found these videos really informative and really helpful. It was like, okay, fair enough, like, you know, fair enough. So I was, yeah, you know, yeah, okay, I think might get somewhere here. So then I started sort of kind of changing the videos, you know, sort of changing the titles a little bit, and you know, changing this, that, and everything else, and you know, it wasn't really having any effect. And I sort of thought, well, you got to give it time, you know. He's not just gonna, you know, he's not giving you a magic wand or, you know, a cheat code to, you know, 10 million views every video just by, you know, sort of changing it. You've got to give it time. So, and I was doing this before Christmas anyway. I sort of watched, you know, that video, and that video has kind of stayed in my head. So every time I upload a video now, that video kind of plays in my head, and I sort of do all the things I learned. And then last week, or it might even have been the beginning of this week, I can't remember now, but as I say, watching all these videos and everything, you know, on how to, you know, sort of grow your channel, how to, you know, this, that, and everything else. And then last week, or as I say, it's either the beginning of this week, last week, I watched another Dan the Man video, and it completely contradicted the first one that I watched, so the first one, it was kind of like you need to change the file name of the video that you've converted. So it mustn't say, for example, mine says made by Clipchamp FS25 1950s farm Tuesday, like just for example, so that I know that video is going out Tuesday, right? So that's why it gets named that way, right? And he was saying, like, you know, this doesn't help the algorithm, and I don't know why I'm catching that tractor specifically up, but I shouldn't be. Yeah, so it's like, you know, that doesn't help the algorithm. You know, what you need to do is you need to file your video names the same as the title of your video, right? So I was thinking, right, okay, fair enough. But in the previous video, he was like, people go, yeah, you should change that. He goes, doesn't have no effect. No, I've run many sort of experiments where you know, I've changed the title and I've, you know, done this, that, and everything else. Just made the title full of keywords. It has absolutely no difference whatsoever, because on 2 channels I ran one with, you know, one title or one file name, one with another file name, and you know, it had absolutely no difference whatsoever. So don't worry. And then the next video, it was like, oh, you must change this and you must put as many keywords into it as possible. You know, the next sort of kind of change recommended, don't list straight away, put unlisted, so it gives YouTube 24 hours to gather all the data on your video and then put it out. The next video that like the sort of contradictory video was, now, you know, a lot of YouTubers will say, you know, unlist the video for, you know, 24 hours, 48 hours, and then list it. Well, it has absolutely no difference whatsoever. And then it was like, you know, and tags, one video, you know, you must write as many relevant tags in there as possible, because it really helps the algorithm. And then the next video was, tags are irrelevant, you don't need to put them in, you know, it doesn't change nothing. YouTube themselves on the page put that they have very minimal effect. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, so literally you've made 2 videos almost identically, where one video tells you to do all of the one things, but the next video that you've made, the one that I watched, it was either the beginning of this week or last week, you know, contradicts everything that first video says. And it's either, if you were told not to do it, do it, and if you were told to do it, don't do it. And I was like, and there's sort of a dawning of realization came upon me. You bloody idiot! These videos aren't there to improve your views. They're there to improve his views. You know, I was just, and once I kind of sort of figured that, and I thought, hang on a minute, I thought all these videos that I'd had, and I've got 4 or 5 that went well into the, you know, to like sort of, you know, 2,000 views, and I was thinking, I didn't do any of that on those videos, and they went to 2,000. I thought, like, and I'm not doing anything any different now. Like, I'm uploading them exactly the same way that I uploaded those videos. I thought the only thing really that's changed from then till now is the thumbnail. So I'm kind of beginning to wonder whether I should just go back to the original thumbnail, whether people are seeing the new thumbnail and not recognising 1950s. And if I went back to the original thumbnail, that actually people might then start, because, you know, they say, oh, you know, the thumbnail's got to be this, that, and everything else. I mean, it was a nice thumbnail. It summed up what the video was about. It was about 1950s, you know, sort of life, right? Farming in particular, but, you know, and I was kind of like, you know, I sort of thought, you know, maybe I should go back to that thumbnail. Maybe it's the new thumbnails that are doing it, because, you know, I mean, I don't, without looking into it, but I don't know for sure, but maybe the views have dropped off since the new thumbnail. Now, I made the new thumbnails that I make now because they're really, I'm really into psychology, and the way human beings work is that if they see anything that's bright with colours that's different, they'll click on it. And it's not because they like what's in the thumbnail, it's because it's different. And humans have this really awful trait of curiosity, and it gets us into a hell of a lot of trouble. I know, I'm one of the. So I sort of thought, I thought, well, maybe it's that that's doing it. So I might go back to the original thumbnail. I've had some people kind of like locally to me say, "Oh, well, I love the new thumbnail. Like it's really, really great design and really this, that, and everything else." I've had other people that have gone, not really keen on the new thumbnail, if I'm honest. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of eye catching and just click on me, but it doesn't actually tell me anything about your video. So I don't know. I might go back to the original way of doing thumbnails, but yeah, that's what I was kind of, I sort of come to the eventual conclusion of these videos aren't here to improve my views. They're there to make sure he gets his views. I was thinking like, and I kind of felt a bit of an idiot, because it was like I'd been suckered in and conned. That's how I felt. I thought. There was me thinking he was going to help me, but when then I thought, why the hell is he going to help you? All right, your videos and his videos, there's absolutely nothing that's relevant between them. His is all how to make money, and you watch these videos, chat GPT or whatever it is makes me £2,000 a minute or whatever, and I'm sort of thinking, what? So the conclusion that I came in the end to YouTube was this: unless, right, unless I think this is just my opinion, unless you have got a background in computers and sort of everything to do with editing and what have you, and you can make videos exactly like their videos, or you do something that is totally outrageous. I've got some things in mind. I can't say them because the ladies will tell me to re-record the video. But unless you're doing something like that, that's the only way you're going to get like instant, if you like, views and stardom off YouTube, right? As far as I can tell, right? That's the only way you're going to get it, right? The conclusion that I've come to is you got to stick at it. You got to keep doing it. Keep making your videos. Remember that you're competing against some absolutely monstrous, sort of YouTubers that make farm sim videos and stuff like that. And from there, once you've done that, once you've stuck at it, once eventually it will come. Eventually you will start to, to notice, improvements. And I was kind of, like I say, I was talking to my little brother about it, and he was like, it's only been a year. And he said, like, I'm not being funny. He said, but like, 600 and I can't remember. I think it's 13 at the minute. I think 613 subscribers. He said in less than a year, not too bad. He said, like, I watch YouTube videos where, he said, like, the person's been recording, sort of videos for now. Then where have they gone, and where are they? Where are they to? Are they down there coming this way? If so, my great plan of getting them well in front, so that I don't have to sit and wait, has gone horrendously wrong, because it looks like I'm going to have to sit and wait, because I'm fairly certain that looks like a tractor coming towards me. So we'll just have to sit and wait, unfortunately, until they get the first lands block done. Then I won't catch them up. Then they should be able to go quick enough then. But yeah, so that's the kind of conclusion that I came to. Was kind of like, well, actually, just stick at it. And the other thing as well that I've kind of learned is that I've spent sort of the last 3 or 4 months watching sort of Daggerwin videos, watching sort of Scruff videos, watching some of the big what I consider to be some of the big YouTubers videos, and then trying to emulate that. And I got to, I don't know, a week or two ago, and I just thought, I'm not enjoying this, because this is how they do videos. This is not how I do videos. I was just sort of thinking, And I sort of sat down and I started sort of thinking to myself, what is it that you want from YouTube? What is it that I actually want from YouTube? Do I want to be someone that's got, you know, for example, you know, like Daggerwin, you know, 950 some odd thousand subscribers, earning, you know, proper money, what have you? Or actually, do you just want YouTube somewhere where you can make videos, talk about your passion, have a general chit chat about, you know, other stuff like we're doing now? I thought, and actually just don't worry about the views. If the views are there, great. If they're not, who cares? Just make your videos, make them your way. You know, make videos that, yeah, you would watch, which I've always tried to do. I've always tried, you know, I always try and make a video. Would I sit and watch this video? And, you know, that's kind of what I've always sort of done. So we're just going to have to wait. Just cutting myself off until they... why's he gone that way? You better come back down this side. But this side looks a heck of a lot wider than that side. He better come back this side, otherwise, well, if they go that way, then I suppose I just have to drill over the top of this, but because I actually haven't got another cultivator. But yeah. Anyway, so as I was saying, like, you know, that was the conclusion that I came to, was actually, you know, like, you know, just make videos that you would watch, but just make them your way. Just do your thing. Like, you know, don't try and do what is working for someone else, because what works for another person, you know, won't work for the next. You know, and just sort of stop worrying about it. You know, you know, we're not, you know, I'm not depending on YouTube to live. You know, yes, you know, because of circumstances in my life, I have enough time. I have every day to make videos and upload videos, and I do. And I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I get to share a little bit of my passion for farming that, fortunately, as I say, because of circumstances, I can't do now. They're genuinely going to go that way, aren't they? You know, I set them off. What's it? Oh, stones. I set them off exactly the same way. Having said that, I set them off in a different. I started them off in a different place. But even so, they should still have done this bit. I just want to see where the first one went. But yeah, so as I say, like, you know, just do it your way. Just do your thing, you know, sort of your way, and just have a bit of fun, have a good time. You know, don't stress about it so much. You know, like I say, it's not like I'm relying on it to live. You know, so suddenly, you know, so you know, that's sort of always come in this way. That's good. That's good. Quite why they did that side first, I have no idea, but anyway, it doesn't matter as long as they come in this side. Lord knows what they're doing. It would have been really helpful if you guys could have done this side first and then done that bit over there, because I could have got going. Anyway, he's having a good time, so he should. You know, we, on the farm, we used to have a couple of open cab tractors. We had a Ford Super Dexter, or I think it was, yeah, Ford Super Dexter. We had a Massey Ferguson. Was it a 35A? I think it was. Or was it a 135A? I can't remember. I think it might have been a 135A. We had a John Deere A, We didn't use these, by the way, in our farming, but they were on the farm. And we also had a Alias Chalmers WD 50, I think it was. Don't know my classic tractors as much as I should, but yeah. So I as I say, that was what we had. They're going that way again. Come this way, please. You watch. They'll do this bit down here next, and then they'll just declare we're finished. What about all that over there, son? And we ain't bothering about that bit. I would like you to, if you don't mind. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to some time lapse, and then we'll be able to get on. So I'll speak to you all in a little while. Bye for now.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Right, so we're back. The field not too far from being completed now. It's not going to take too much longer to finish this field off. We've done quite well, to be fair. I'm a bit annoyed because before we came down the extended bit, and by the extended bit I mean that bit down to the lane and to the cornfield, I hadn't missed a single bit, and now now in this part I've missed loads of bits, and quite big bits as well. I don't really know kind of what happens, because, and I'll tell you the reason why. What I've been doing is, so when I was driving tractors at the first farm that didn't have GPS or anything like that, so in order to keep going in a straight line, invariably I would use the edge of my mudguard as on the front wheel as a line for where I needed to drive, so that I was A, driving in a straight line, and B, matching up to whatever I was doing, especially if you was like power harrowing. I had a 4-meter power harrow, and I knew that if I ran the mudguard, the edge of the outside of the mudguard, down the line so that it looked like it was running straight down the edge of the power harrowing, where it ends, I knew that when I turned around, if I ran the outside edge so as it looked like it was going straight down the line, that my power harrow was not really overlapping, but it was matching up and just taking enough of sort of the previous breed so that I wasn't missing any, but it wasn't overlapping by a long way. And I got it down to an art form so that I literally only had to glance it and I knew that I was in the right place. And it takes time and it takes practice and everything else. And it was the same with this. So you can see the marks on the ground, the sort of dark bit that I'm driving in now, but then sort of a metre or so each side is like a really lighter shade. So what I was doing was originally I was driving my track down the lighter shade of soil, and that was keeping me in a straight line. But for some reason, when I then went down the side of the cow barn, those lighter shades all moved over. They weren't then in line, and so now it's thrown me out, because this end of the field I lined myself up, as you can see now, the edge of my track to the left of the tractor is now on that white shade, but it's now not really matching up to the other side. So I don't really know quite why the texturing changed so much, and now I'm having to come right over to make sure I match it up. But what I'll do is, off camera, I will go into the map, and so you go into escape, and then so you get the map of the picture of the map up, PDA up, and then tab over to the growing status, and then you'll be able to see where it's green and then where it isn't, and where it isn't is where you've missed some. So I'll go back and just patch it in. But yeah, it was a little bit annoying because I'd been sort of doing really well. I was like sort of keeping it straight. I was thinking this is going much better, this is a lot better way of doing it. But alas, as I say, I went down the side of the first cow barn there that you can see, sort of all the way down then to the end of the field, and the lines moved, and because the lines moved, it then threw me out, and I've sort of been chasing my tail ever since, really. But never mind. Anyway, I am going to leave this episode here, so I thank you all very much for watching. As I always say, I do really appreciate it, and I do. If you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for joining me on this episode. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye for now.